Alright, so if you don't know, I'm doing a review on every single Star Wars media, at least on Disney Plus. And I'm doing the Clone Wars review, and I'm going through every single episode making a review, starting with Season 1, going all the way to Season 7. We are on Episode 15, I believe. I think it's called Trespass. And just another filler episode. Now, I say that, and normally when you hear filler episodes and you watch shows, you're probably thinking of like the One Pieces and the Narutos, where it's just like, can we just fucking get on with it? You know what I mean? But I think one thing we can all admit, Clone Wars does really, really well with their filler, you know? I know some of them have like goofy plot points and some of them have, like goofy characters like a Jar Jar Binks. But one thing I can appreciate is that there's always things to learn in a filler episode that the Clone Wars gives off. Now in this episode, basically the whole plot line is the blue people. I don't remember their race name, but blue people basically are exploring a planet with the Republic. They find a bunch of dead Republic. The blue people own the planet because there's no sentient life forms. So the government basically gives them authority over this planet as long as there's no sentient life forms on it. So they explore the planet. They find sentient life forms. Blue people disagree that they're sentient, so we get a little bit of politics. And then the leader of the blue people decides to start a war. He ends up dying in the war. And then the representative for the Senate, which is like the basically politicians, representative goes ahead and stops the war and gives the sentient beings here, the Tulls, aka the Snow Wookies, aka this thing. Pretty cool design. Nightmare fuel when I was a child. This thing literally looks like a tarantula's head on a bear's body. Little traumatizing, but that's what you like to see from Star Wars. Also, it appears that this is the first appearance, I believe, of this race. So it's technically like the first iteration of the Tulls. It's kind of cool to get that sort of, oh wow, they just found a new species in the galaxy from this episode. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good filler episode, Anakin Obi-Wan had a little bit of jargon, get a few chuckles here and there. C-3PO, R2-D2 get their little humor in there, Notably, we get Captain Rex and a Snow 501st Legion. Now, if you ask me, I think they need to be made into Lego immediately, right now. Lego, get on that. I would pay a lot of money for a Snow Captain Rex. Just saying. It is one of the cooler designs. Clone Wars normally just is bangers for the designs, as far as all the clones' armor go. But, yeah, overall, a pretty decent episode. You got to learn more about the galaxy. You got to learn, how they really go about dictating planet ownerships and what the Senate's relation is. How, like, the leader of a planet isn't necessarily the Senate representative. If that makes sense. We had the leader of the blue people basically be like this dictating ruler. But the Senate lady from the race was basically like she had much less say. So there's a different hierarchy thing going on there, which is always cool to see amongst different races. Takes you out of like the idea of just every race abiding by what humans like us abide by. So it's pretty cool. I thought it had a nice bit of flavor to it, Moving on from that, it did have some pretty decent scenes. There was also some more wildlife you could see, like the Tulls. They ride these saber-tooth things that are pretty cool. A lot of just really cool, unique things. We got the introduction of snow speeders, which was pretty cool. I don't believe they showcase at least these type of... what were they called? They might be called something different, but I believe they're just basically snow speeders. They're pretty cool design. I used to have a Lego one back in the day, not to toot my own horn, but, just saying. Overall, I did think it was pretty good. Yeah, like it's filler. At the end of the day, there's not much to say past that, but it was good filler. You get to learn a lot more about the world, Definitely makes you appreciate some of the filler because, you just get a better sense of how everything works in Star Wars, They definitely, you can tell the writers definitely had like a bigger picture. It wasn't just, all right, let's produce the Clone Wars and be done with it, you know? They really wanted to like build together the entire society of how everything works, you know, or would work in the galaxy with these races and politics and all this other shit. You know, you might not like politics or whatever, but you know, you don't have to like politics to like Star Wars. It's just, it's literally a different universe where you get to learn different ways that different species would be able to coexist, you know? Even the Tulls here, you learn that they're very, you know, prone to be aggressive once provoked, basically. So I thought it was pretty cool. Thought it was, you know, unique, at least. But it was filler at the end of the day, so can't really give it too high of a rating. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. You know, we didn't get like a new commander. We had some cool designs here and there, but overall it's just mainly the cast we've seen before. There was a really cool scene before the leader of the blue people ended up dying, where Rex was basically doing a last stand with his boys before the gunship showed up. You know, and I imagine if you're watching this for the first time and you don't really know who Captain Rex is and you don't know if he survives, I mean, that's a pretty cool scene. But you know, at this point, I think everyone knows Captain Rex isn't really going to be in danger in any sort of situation. It's mainly going to be the clones around him, but nonetheless, it's pretty cool to at least see an attempt to pull heartstrings, you know what I mean? Or to get that sort of like, oh shit, what's about to happen moments, you know? So I think the Clone Wars did pretty well with this. Episode 15, we're getting high up there. Almost done the first season. Probably going to give it a little break and then move into season 2. But with all that being said, I want to thank you for making it to the end of this video, and as always, I hope you have a good day.